Okay, was asked about the idea of where the law of attraction or your goals are actually what you're running away from. So your goal is to alleviate pain rather than actually gain pleasure, and being clear on that. And so I was asked a question about what do I think of faith and belief in relation to achieving desires, in the sense of Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich speaks of faith and belief as important in achieving one's desires. So faith, belief, again, two things which are double-edged swords, and leave it to a human and they'll mess anything up. It's amazing, right? You find the most beautiful paradise on earth, and 10 years later it's so crowded with buildings and hotels and bars and pollution, and all the corals and fishes are dead, and people have a way of messing up good things. So the concepts of faith and belief are very similar in the sense of what people have done to alter what are really powerful, useful concepts, because they've been used to manipulate people in the sense of blind faith and belief in the wrong thing you have faith in, the wrong person, the wrong religion, the wrong goal, the wrong toaster that's going to make you happy. So faith and belief are very powerful, useful, necessary, because they give you the motivation. So if you don't have faith and belief in achieving your goal, as she said here, as if you've made a catalog order and waiting for it to come, if you have that kind of total blind faith and belief that it's going to happen no matter what because I believe it'll happen, this is very wrong also, because I believe that when I get into my car, the engine will start because it's a good, reliable car. I have total faith and belief that when I sit down in that car, the engine will start. But if I don't put the key in the ignition and turn the key, it's never going to start, right? Whatever your goal is, you must have faith and belief, so you have motivation. You have a willingness to continue working towards it. But if you allow your weaknesses to let faith and belief become responsible, or whoever you have faith and belief in, be it God, the angels, the whatever, airy-fairy peanut butter muffin that floats in the sky, whatever it is, if you put total faith in anything that way, nothing is going to happen. So your faith has to be in yourself. And you have total faith and belief that you will succeed at anything you desire, which is reasonable and feasible. Remember these two words that I've put to a caveat to any goal. It must be reasonable and feasible for you. Then if you have that faith and belief and you put in every effort possible to achieve your goal, then yes, it will happen. But if you leave it up to faith and belief alone, nothing. It's lottery. It's winning a lottery. Maybe you get lucky. And if you get lucky, don't think that this works. Is whatever it is you want, you have to put in a lot of effort to achieving it. And so faith and belief are merely qualities that give you the motivation and energy to put in every bit of effort at every moment of the day to achieve what you want to achieve, because you believe it can be done if you put the effort. Now, this is the problem, is that too many people have believe, I have faith, and you're like the fellow, who's walking along the, whose house is by the river, and they come in a Jeep. The Coast Guard comes in a Jeep. They said there's a dam is breaking and there's going to be a flood, flash flood. We're evacuating. And he says, no, I'm a man of faith. I believe in God. I have confirmed belief God will protect me. Go, save someone else. They go. The water starts to rise. It's up to his knees. And they come in a boat. And they say, come on, get in, get in. No, thank you. I have faith. God will take care of me. God will protect me. Go save some unbeliever. I have complete faith and belief in God. There's no doubt in my mind. God will save me. Off they go. The water is risen so high the man is standing on his roof of his house. And they come in a helicopter to pick up the last ones they missed. And it's gone. Grab the rope. We'll pull you up. Nope, I'm fine. God will protect me. Look, I'm still here. I'm still fine. The water is not drowning me yet. God will save me. Go. They give up on him, of course, so they go. And of course the water rises, and he drowns, and he dies. So he's there in heaven, wherever it is, and he sees God, and he says, God, I don't understand. My whole life, I had the perfect faith of Job. I mean, the perfect faith in you. There was no question. In every second of my waking and sleeping life, I had total faith in you, that you would protect me. How come you let me down? And he says, my son, I sent them in a jeep. I sent them in a boat. I sent a helicopter. What more do you want? So how many of you are living that way? I can tell you how many of you. All of you who have total faith in your goal and never succeed. That's how many. So if you have complete faith in anything and it is not delivering, that's because you're that idiot drowning on the roof. Your faith is blind. Blind, what happens if you're blind and you drive a car? That's blind faith. I'll tell you what happens. You'll be like the Malays here. They run off the road. They have accidents left and right. It's amazing. They have complete faith. God will protect them. So they don't watch what they're doing when they're driving and they're crashing all over the place. It's craziness. So this is blind faith. All right? So you have to be very careful about faith and belief to understand where you must place your faith. It's very simple. You place your faith in someone who will be able to deliver what you need, right? You place your faith in someone you know will always be there for you. Now you tell me, who will always be there except you? You're the only one that you can count on. You're the only one who will always be there for you. You're the only one who's going to be there and go with you when you die. You're the only one. So you are the only one you should have faith and belief in. The faith and belief that you will succeed if you put in the effort. And if you are not succeeding, it is because you are not putting in the effort. So get going and put in the effort, and then you will succeed in all your goals. And that's basically, she asked, how did I succeed in all my desires? Well, I had common sense, and I put in all the effort I could. And you know, there's a saying, you take one step to God, God takes 10 steps to you. So maybe there is something spiritual. Maybe. I didn't get any signatures or phone calls. Well, I did once. But you know, these things happen, and you look and you say, wow, that really should not have happened. I did one deal, a very, very large business deal, that the only reason is because I by chance met the owner of the buildings, a very wealthy man that, you know, and the reason I met him was because he was walking through the hallway going to the toilet in his building when I went into the building to see about meeting whoever. I didn't know who I would meet, and I didn't know who he was. I went in to inquire about renting a shop in that building, and it just so happened this guy's walking by. Stop and ask him. Happens to be the owner, who's on his way to the toilet. Now, 30 seconds sooner or later, I would have not met him. And this guy, you have to wait a week to get an appointment if you are special enough to meet him. And I was able to. I know he just started chatting, and he just took a liking to me because he could tell I was a young, ambitious guy at the time. And then he started talking to me, and we became friendly, and he gave me a great job, and I sold him a $22 million building, and it was great. Really, I made so much money, changed my life. So 30 seconds sooner or later, this wouldn't have happened. Now, this is Montreal. Montreal has tremendous traffic, really bad traffic, really impossible parking. Now, had the traffic lights and the traffic and the perfect parking spot not all coordinated for my 1 hour drive to get to his office, a 30-second window wouldn't have happened. And that meeting led to the fulfillment of my goal, which was within 1 year of being a real estate broker, I would sell a multi-million-dollar building, which happened because of that chance meeting. So I was absolutely determined that I would sell a multi-million-dollar building in my first year, which is something that doesn't happen very often to anybody, sometimes in their whole life, to sell something that big. Today it's probably worth over $100 million. It was a long time ago, and prices have gone up a lot since then. It was a terrible economy at the time. And I studied. I got my license. I worked very hard, 7 days a week. I never gave up making phone calls and never lost faith that I would achieve because I was working so hard and so devotedly at every single opportunity, regardless of how much or little money I would make. And because I did that, in my 11th month, I sold the building to fulfill my goal. All right? So your faith and belief that, yes, everything will work out as long as I put in the effort. And this is how you sustain your motivation, your energy, and you can go forward. Now, she also asks, and where does surrender fit into this? Well, surrender fits into everybody who's a failure. That's where. You don't surrender. Surrender is giving up. As soon as you give up, you have no faith, you have no belief. All right? Surrender means I'm putting everything in the hands of God. Oh, this is religion, right? So it's a religious person's question. I put everything in the hands of God. I saw a movie the other day. It's called Hologram for a King. Very nice movie. I like it. And it's filmed in, where is it? With Mecca in Saudi. And they're in the car and the beggar kids are coming, begging. And the fellow, the driver, the local, he just takes his finger and goes like this, and the kids walk away. And the American in the car with him, he says, what's this? What does this mean? How come they go away just so easily? He says, it means he will provide, right? God will provide. So don't bother me. You're not getting it from me. God will provide. So when you wait for God to provide, what did the kid do? Goes to the next car, and the next car, and the next car. And then somebody will give him some money, right? Eventually. So who provided? God? No. The kid provided. The kid kept going. He did not surrender and then sit down on the side of the road and wait for money to fall from the sky. So there is no surrendering. There is no giving up. There is no acceptance of any failure. There is constant and perpetual effort until you are totally satisfied, which could mean you lower your expectations too, But the point is, no, surrender is a terrible concept. It's one of the many concepts that are in religions which were created by man, not by the original author or whoever brought messenger of that religion. So many concepts were created by men, smart men, marketers, the original marketing, to manipulate and control people. How did the Pope and the Vatican get so rich? By having Hundreds of millions of Catholics surrender their life, surrender their money, surrender their independence to the Pope, to the church, to the mosque, to the synagogue. Well, the Jews don't. No, Jews don't surrender anything. But the church and the mosque, the Pope, all of these guys, everybody should surrender. And look how bloody rich these leaders are. It's ridiculous. The rabbis are not the richest people in the synagogue, but the priests, the Vatican, they're the richest people in their religion. So the whole idea of surrender and these concepts, they're manipulations. Now it's the New Ages, the false teachers and the charlatans who are super wealthy and powerful because they teach you to surrender. They say, surrender to me, surrender to my teaching, surrender to my bank account, surrender everything. And they're the wealthiest ones. So the idea of surrender is a manipulation. So we should never give in. We must always maintain responsibility and self-control and put in effort at all times. All right? Don't surrender your life because, when you surrender your life to someone else, they're just going to take it. When you surrender to God, God isn't really necessarily involved in your life. He's got other things to do. It's like the two Indians walking through the forest. And they're walking and they see in the path a tiger sleeping right on the path. And one of them says to the other, let's go around. And the second one says, what's the matter? You have lost your faith in God to protect us? And the first one says, why should I bother God for something I can do myself? So what are you waiting for God when you should be doing something yourself? Do your best. Don't surrender anything. And then maybe you're lucky and God or an angel or somebody's going to participate for you. But not if you're going to sit on your ass with nothing but faith and belief. All right? So that should answer that question. And yeah, okay, I think that was her whole question. All right, good luck.